What if, just for one day, you could leave the modern world behind and step into a forgotten age? No phones, no engines, no glowing cities stretching across the night. Only the whisper of a timeless river, the warmth of the rising sun, and the quiet rhythm of a civilization that has not yet become history. Take a slow, deep breath and allow the world around you to fade. Imagine opening your eyes, not in your own home, but on the fertile banks of the Nile nearly 32 centuries ago. The year is around 1200 BC. The air is cool before sunrise. A gentle breeze carries the scent of fresh water and damp earth across the riverbank. The sky above is still painted in deep shades of blue, while the first hint of golden light quietly appears in the east. For a few peaceful moments, everything feels perfectly still. Then, almost unnoticed, ancient Egypt begins to awaken. Birds glide effortlessly above the Nile, their reflections dancing upon the calm water below. Soft mist drifts across the river's surface like a veil, slowly disappearing beneath the growing warmth of dawn. Nearby, fishermen quietly untie ropes, securing their wooden boats. Their hands move with the confidence that comes from repeating the same morning ritual for countless years. Fathers teach sons without speaking many words, because these traditions have long since become part of everyday life. The Nile is far more than a river. It is Egypt's heartbeat. Every field, every village, every harvest, every temple, and every city depends upon these waters. Without the Nile, this magnificent civilization could never have existed. Beyond the green riverbanks, endless deserts stretch toward the horizon. Their golden sands appear beautiful beneath the morning light, but they offer little life. Instead, nearly everyone lives close to the river, where rich black soil allows crops to grow year after year. As the sun slowly climbs higher into the sky, you begin walking along a narrow path beside the river. The earth beneath your feet is soft from the annual floodwaters that have recently retreated. Small footprints from children, goats, and donkeys cover the ground, reminding you that this peaceful landscape is filled with ordinary lives. In the distance, smoke rises gently into the morning sky. A village slowly comes into view. Simple mud brick homes stand close together beneath rows of date palms. The buildings are modest, yet carefully built to remain cool during Egypt's intense summers. Their flat roofs provide places where families gather during the evening after the day's heat has passed. As you enter the village, life quietly unfolds around you. A woman kneads dough for fresh bread, while another carefully grinds grain using a heavy stone mill that has served her family for many years. Children chase one another through narrow pathways, laughing freely before their daily chores begin. An elderly man sits outside his home, watching the sunrise with calm eyes. He has witnessed thousands of mornings like this one. To him, this is simply another ordinary day. He cannot know that people living thousands of years in the future will study the world around him with endless fascination. Inside one small home, a family gathers for breakfast. Warm bread rests beside onions, figs, dates, and jars of fresh beer made from barley. The meal is simple, yet nourishing. The family speaks quietly while preparing for another day of work. There is no rush. Life here follows the rhythm of nature rather than the ticking of a clock. Outside, goats wander between houses while chickens scratch the dusty ground. Cats move silently through shaded corners, patiently watching for mice. The Egyptians admire these graceful animals, believing they bring protection to the household. Even the smallest moments reveal a civilization deeply connected to the natural world. Soon, the village begins to empty. Farmers shoulder wooden tools polished smooth through years of use. Some led oxen toward the fields. Others carry baskets filled with seeds that will soon become future harvests. Young boys proudly walk beside their fathers, learning skills that one day will become their own responsibility. Young girls help their mothers gather water, prepare food, and care for younger children. Knowledge is rarely written down. Instead, it passes quietly from one generation to the next, through observation, patience, and daily life. As you continue your journey through the village, you realize something surprising. Despite the thousands of years separating your world from theirs, much feels strangely familiar. Parents worry about their children. Neighbors greet one another with warm smiles. Friends pause to exchange stories before beginning work. People dream about better harvests, healthier families, and peaceful futures. Across all of history, the human heart changes very little. Leaving the quiet village behind, you continue walking beside the Nile as the morning grows brighter. The river stretches endlessly before you, shimmering beneath the Egyptian sun. Gentle waves lap against the muddy banks while reeds sway softly in the breeze. Small wooden boats drift silently across the water, guided by square linen sails that catch the morning wind. The Nile is more than a source of life. It is Egypt's greatest road. Long before paved highways or railways existed, nearly everything travels along this river. Boats carry grain harvested from distant farms. Pottery, timber, stone, linen, livestock, and precious goods move steadily between villages and great cities. Travelers greet one another as they pass, exchanging news from places many days away. Some merchants have spent weeks sailing the river. Others have arrived from lands beyond Egypt itself. Their boats carry unfamiliar woods from Lebanon, fine incense from the mysterious land of Punt, copper from Sinai, and brilliant gold brought north from Nubia. Each journey strengthens Egypt's growing wealth. Standing quietly along the riverbank, you begin to understand why this civilization became one of the greatest in the ancient world. Its strength is not built by monuments alone. It is built by countless ordinary people whose daily work keeps the kingdom alive. Farther north, the countryside becomes even busier. Wide green fields stretch toward the horizon. Workers bend carefully over rows of wheat and barley, tending crops beneath the warming sun. Others repair irrigation channels that guide precious river water across the farmland. Every drop matters. Everyone understands that the coming harvest depends upon careful planning, patience, and cooperation. A farmer pauses to wipe sweat from his forehead. He looks toward the river for a brief moment before returning to his work. Perhaps he is thinking about the coming season. Perhaps he is wondering whether the flood will arrive at the proper time this year. Or perhaps he is simply grateful that today's weather is kind. Nearby, children help chase birds away from freshly planted fields. Their laughter echoes across the countryside. To them, this work is not unusual. It is simply part of growing up beside the Nile. Life and work are woven together. As midday approaches, the sun climbs higher into the cloudless sky. Its warmth becomes stronger with every passing hour. Many workers pause beneath clusters of palm trees to rest for a short time. Clay jars filled with cool river water are passed from hand to hand. Fresh bread, onions, dried fish, dates, and figs become a simple midday meal. There is comfort in these quiet moments. Conversations drift easily between neighbors. Stories are shared. Small jokes bring tired smiles. Children listen carefully while elders speak about seasons long past, remembering years when the Nile flooded, especially high, or harvests filled every storage house. History lives not only in temples, it lives in memory. As the afternoon continues, the distant outline of a great city slowly begins to appear above the horizon. At first, only enormous stone walls are visible. Then towering gateways rise from the shimmering heat. Soon, colossal statues become visible, standing silently as guardians before magnificent temples. Even from far away, the city feels almost impossible. Its buildings seem far too enormous for human hands. The closer you travel, the larger everything becomes. Wide streets fill with merchants, craftsmen, priests, soldiers, scribes, and travelers from every corner of the kingdom. The peaceful silence of the countryside gives way to the vibrant sounds of city life. Donkeys carry heavy baskets through crowded streets. Merchants enthusiastically invite customers to inspect colorful goods. The smell of fresh bread mixes with sweet perfume, incense, leather, and newly carved cedar wood. Every direction offers something new to discover. Stonemasons carefully shape massive blocks using copper and bronze tools. Nearby, skilled carpenters transform rough timber into elegant furniture decorated with ivory and gold. Jewelry makers patiently polish gemstones until they sparkle beneath the afternoon sun. Every object reflects remarkable craftsmanship. Nothing is rushed. Everything is created with patience learned through years of experience. You soon arrive at the city's bustling marketplace. Here, voices from many different regions blend into one constant hum. Baskets overflow with grapes, melons, pomegranates, cucumbers, garlic, lentils, herbs, and fragrant spices. Fine linen hangs from wooden stalls, gently moving with the warm breeze. Bright necklaces of turquoise, lapis lazuli, and polished gold catch the sunlight, drawing the attention of passing visitors. Some merchants speak languages you do not recognize. Others proudly describe the distant lands from which their rare treasures have come. For the people of ancient Egypt, the world feels both vast and wonderfully connected. Standing quietly among the crowd, you realize that beneath all this activity, life follows the same hopes that unite every generation. People work, people trade, people laugh, people dream. And without realizing it, They are building a civilization whose story will still be told thousands of years into the future. Leaving the busy marketplace behind, you follow a broad stone road that leads deeper into the heart of the city. The sounds of merchants slowly fade, replaced by the steady tapping of chisels, the scratch of reed pens upon papyrus, and the quiet conversations of officials going about their daily duties. Here, knowledge is one of Egypt's greatest treasures. In a shaded courtyard, several young boys sit cross-legged before their teacher. Each carefully copies rows of hieroglyphs onto smooth wooden tablets coated with white plaster. Their hands move slowly. Every symbol must be perfect. Learning to read and write is not easy, and very few people will ever master it. But those who do may one day become scribes, the educated men who record the kingdom's taxes, trade, laws, and royal decrees. A respected scribe carries no sword and plows no field. Yet his work shapes the kingdom just as surely as any soldier or farmer. Nearby, an experienced scribe patiently rolls up completed sheets of papyrus. Each document preserves a small piece of Egypt's story. Perhaps one day, thousands of years from now, archaeologists will uncover writings very much like these. Perhaps someone in the future will read the very words being written today. The thought feels almost magical. As you continue walking, magnificent government buildings begin to appear. Officials dressed in spotless white linen robes move calmly through spacious courtyards. Messengers arrive carrying sealed documents. Guards stand quietly at carved gateways, watching every visitor who passes. Everything operates with remarkable order. This is one of the reasons Egypt has remained powerful for so many centuries. Its strength comes not only from kings and armies, but from careful organization, skilled workers, and people performing their duties faithfully every single day. Soon, your eyes are drawn toward an enormous palace rising above the surrounding buildings. Its walls gleam beneath the afternoon sun. Beautiful gardens filled with flowering plants surround wide pools of cool water. Tall palm trees sway gently in the warm breeze. Servants move quietly through shaded walkways carrying baskets of fruit, fresh flowers, and finely woven cloth. This is the home of the pharaoh. To modern eyes, he may appear to be simply a king, but to the people of ancient Egypt, he is far more than that. He is believed to rule with divine authority. His responsibility is to maintain Mat, the sacred balance of order, truth, justice, and harmony throughout the land. If the Nile floods properly, if crops grow well, if peace remains across the kingdom, many believe these blessings reflect the pharaoh's ability to preserve harmony between humanity and the gods. It is an enormous responsibility. Inside the palace, advisors discuss trade, agriculture, diplomacy, and construction. Experienced architects study plans for new temples. Military commanders report news from distant borders. Treasury officials carefully count grain, gold, and valuable goods arriving from across the kingdom. Every decision made here reaches villages hundreds of miles away. Yet even within these grand halls, ordinary moments quietly unfold. A servant pauses to admire a flowering lotus beside a reflecting pool. A young messenger smiles after successfully completing his first important delivery. Gardeners patiently trim trees beneath the afternoon sun. Life continues at every level of society. Powerful rulers and humble workers all share the same passing hours. Leaving the palace behind, your journey leads toward one of Egypt's greatest wonders. Towering temple walls slowly rise before you. Massive stone columns stand like a forest carved from rock itself. Each surface is covered with beautifully carved hieroglyphs telling stories of kings, victories, offerings, and the eternal relationship between people and the gods. The entrance is so enormous that every visitor feels small beneath its shadow. As you step inside, the air becomes noticeably cooler. The sounds of the city fade away. Soft light filters through the vast stone halls, creating long golden beams that dance across ancient carvings. The scent of burning incense fills the quiet air. Somewhere deeper within the temple, priests softly chant prayers that echo gently between the towering columns. Visitors arrive carrying baskets filled with bread, flowers, fruit, and jars of wine. Each offering is given with hope. Some pray for good harvests. Others ask for healthy children. Some seek healing from illness. Others simply offer thanks for another peaceful day beneath the Egyptian sun. Watching them, you realize that although their gods differ from those worshipped today, the emotions guiding these prayers feel remarkably familiar. Hope, gratitude, fear, love. Across thousands of years, the human heart continues to search for comfort, meaning, and peace. And within these magnificent temples, surrounded by stone that has already stood for centuries, time itself seems to slow to a gentle whisper. As you leave the cool shadows of the temple, the afternoon sun begins its slow journey toward the western horizon. Its golden light softens, bathing the city in warm shades of amber and bronze. Long shadows stretch across the stone streets, and the pace of life becomes just a little slower. Beyond the temple walls, another group of craftsmen is hard at work. Stone carvers patiently shape enormous limestone blocks, carefully smoothing every surface before intricate carvings are added. Nearby, skilled painters grind colorful minerals into fine powders: red ochre, yellow ochre, malachite for brilliant green, azurite for deep blue. Mixed with natural oils and water, these pigments will decorate temples and tombs with colors meant to last for eternity. Every brushstroke is made with extraordinary care. The artists know their work is not only for today, it is for generations yet unborn. A little farther away, goldsmiths sit beneath shaded workshops. Small charcoal fires glow quietly while molten gold is poured into delicate molds. Bracelets, rings, necklaces, and ceremonial ornaments slowly take shape beneath steady hands. Some pieces will be worn by wealthy nobles. Others will accompany their owners into the afterlife. Nothing here is created carelessly. Beauty itself is considered a gift worthy of great patience. The rhythmic sound of hammers blends with distant voices, creating a peaceful harmony that fills the afternoon air. Nearby, potters shape wet clay upon spinning wheels, simple bowls, water jars, cooking pots, storage vessels. These humble objects may never appear inside royal palaces, yet they are just as essential to everyday life. A civilization is built not only by kings and monuments, but by countless ordinary hands performing ordinary work with extraordinary dedication. As you continue walking, laughter catches your attention. Several children are gathered beneath a large sycamore tree. Some toss handmade balls woven from reeds. Others play games using small stones arranged in careful patterns. A little girl proudly carries a doll made from cloth and straw. An older boy patiently teaches his younger brother how to throw a small wooden stick toward a target scratched into the ground. For a while, there are no grand monuments, no royal ceremonies, only childhood. Their joyful voices drift through the warm afternoon air, exactly as children's laughter has always done. Watching them, it becomes impossible not to smile. Thousands of years may separate your lives, yet their happiness feels instantly recognizable. Nearby, a grandmother sits quietly, weaving baskets from fresh reeds gathered along the Nile. Her hands move without hesitation. She has repeated these same motions for decades. Beside her, another woman carefully spins flax into fine thread that will eventually become Egypt's famous linen cloth. Nothing is wasted. Every plant, every tool, every resource is used with remarkable care. The people of ancient Egypt understand that prosperity depends upon respecting the gifts the Nile provides. As the afternoon grows quieter, shepherds begin guiding their goats and sheep back toward nearby villages. Dust rises gently beneath their feet. The animals move slowly, already familiar with the path home. From across the river, the distant call of a boatman echoes over the water. Another sail glides peacefully toward shore. Fishing nets are lifted one final time before sunset. The day's work is nearly complete. The air begins to cool. A gentle breeze returns from the river, carrying with it the scent of fresh water and flowering papyrus. Palm leaves rustle softly overhead. The intense brightness of midday slowly fades into the rich golden colors that have inspired artists for thousands of years. You climb a small hill overlooking the Nile Valley. From here, the view is breathtaking. The great river winds through endless fields of green. Villages rest peacefully among groves of date palms. Temple towers rise proudly above the landscape. Beyond them, the vast desert stretches toward distant mountains glowing beneath the evening sun. For a few quiet moments, everything seems perfectly balanced. Nature, people, faith, work, family, all connected by the timeless flow of the Nile. It becomes easy to understand why so many ancient Egyptians believed this land had been blessed by the gods themselves. Standing here, watching the sunlight slowly fade across one of history's greatest civilizations, you feel less like a visitor from the future, and more like someone who has briefly found a second home in another age. The sun now hangs low above the western horizon, and the brilliant blue sky slowly transforms into soft shades of gold, orange, and crimson. Across the Nile Valley, the day's work gently comes to an end. Farmers gather their tools and begin the familiar walk home. Boatmen secure their vessels along the riverbank. The busy marketplace gradually grows quieter as merchants carefully pack away their remaining goods. The constant sounds of trade slowly give way to the peaceful rhythm of evening. Warm light washes across temples, villages, and distant fields. Every stone seems to glow. Every palm tree casts a long shadow upon the earth. For a few precious moments, ancient Egypt appears almost timeless. Families begin gathering inside their homes. Clay ovens still hold the warmth of the day's fire as fresh bread is placed upon simple wooden tables. The evening meal is humble but satisfying. Bread, lentils, vegetables, fresh fish from the Nile, sweet dates gathered from nearby palms. Neighbors exchange small portions of food, strengthening friendships that have lasted for generations. There is comfort in sharing what little one has. Inside one home, an elderly grandfather begins telling stories to the children. His voice is calm and steady. He speaks of wise kings, clever farmers, loyal friends, and the great floods of years long past. The youngest children listen with wide eyes. Some stories are true. Others have grown larger with every generation that has repeated them. But that hardly matters. Stories carry more than facts. They carry memory. They carry identity. Long before books fill great libraries, history lives in the voices of ordinary people. Outside, mothers gently rock sleeping infants beneath the cool evening breeze. A father quietly repairs a fishing net that will be needed again before sunrise. Two brothers sit together watching the river in comfortable silence. No one feels the need to hurry. The day has given enough. Nearby, musicians gather in a small courtyard. The soft sound of a harp rises into the evening air. A wooden flute answers with a gentle melody. Simple drums provide a slow and steady rhythm. Families smile as familiar songs drift through the village. Some clap softly. Children begin dancing without embarrassment. Even after long hours of work, there is still room for joy. The music is not performed for kings. It is performed for one another. As darkness slowly spreads across the valley, oil lamps begin appearing inside homes, workshops, and temples. Tiny golden flames flicker gently against mud brick walls. From a distance, the villages resemble small constellations resting upon the earth. Above them, another sky begins to awaken. One by one, the first stars appear. Without electric lights to compete against them, the heavens seem impossibly bright. The Milky Way stretches across the night like a river of light. Ancient Egyptian astronomers have watched these same stars for countless generations. They study their movements with remarkable care. The rising of certain stars tells farmers when the life-giving flood of the Nile will soon arrive. To them, the heavens are not distant mysteries. They are trusted companions. Standing quietly beneath the vast sky, you realize something extraordinary. The stars above ancient Egypt are the very same stars shining above the modern world. Thousands of years have passed. Empires have risen and fallen. Languages have changed. Nations have appeared and disappeared. Yet the night sky remains almost unchanged. The people who once stood here looked upward with the same curiosity that fills our hearts today. They wondered where they came from. They wondered what awaited them after death. They wondered whether future generations would remember them. In that moment, the distance between past and present begins to disappear. History no longer feels like words inside a book. It feels deeply human, quietly familiar, wonderfully alive. The gentle breeze from the Nile brushes across your face once more. The voices of the village become softer. The music slowly fades. Only the peaceful sound of flowing water remains. The river continues its endless journey northward, just as it has for thousands of years. Patient, steady, unhurried. As if time itself flows with its current, carrying every generation gently toward tomorrow. The night grows deeper, and a peaceful silence settles across the Nile Valley. Only the quiet murmur of flowing water, the distant call of a night bird, and the gentle rustling of palm leaves disturb the stillness. The air is pleasantly cool now, offering welcome relief after the warmth of the day. Above you, countless stars fill the heavens. Without the glow of modern cities, every constellation shines with breathtaking clarity. The ancient Egyptians often looked upon this same sky with wonder. To them, the heavens were alive with meaning. The movements of the stars reflected divine order, guiding seasons, ceremonies, and the rhythm of everyday life. Some believed the souls of great rulers would one day join the eternal stars. Others imagined the gods sailing across the heavens in magnificent celestial boats. Whether these stories were taken as truth or symbol, they offered comfort to people seeking answers to life's greatest mysteries. As you continue your quiet walk beneath the moonlight, the towering silhouette of a temple appears once more. Now it stands completely transformed. During the day, it welcomed crowds of worshippers. Tonight, it rests in peaceful silence. Only a few small oil lamps continue burning near the entrance. Their soft light dances across ancient carvings that have watched centuries pass before them. Stone lions remain motionless beside the gateway. Massive columns disappear into darkness above. Everything feels calm, timeless, almost sacred. Nearby, priests quietly complete the final rituals of the day before closing the great wooden doors. The scent of incense still lingers in the cool night air. Soon, even these footsteps disappear. The temple returns to silence. Far beyond the city, the desert begins. Moonlight spreads across endless dunes, turning golden sand into silver waves. A gentle wind reshapes the surface grain by grain. The desert never truly sleeps. Foxes leave delicate footprints across the sand. Owls glide silently through the darkness, searching for food. Small creatures emerge only after the heat of day has passed. Even here, life quietly continues beneath the stars. You pause upon a low ridge overlooking both desert and river. On one side lies endless sand. On the other, the life-giving Nile winds through fields, villages, and temples. Together, they create one of the most remarkable landscapes on Earth. The contrast is extraordinary. Without the river, there would be only silence. Without the desert, Egypt would never have developed its unique character. Nature itself shaped this civilization. The Nile offered life. The desert offered protection. Between them, generations built homes, raised families, created art, explored ideas, and dreamed of eternity. Perhaps that is why ancient Egypt continues to fascinate the world today. Its greatest achievement was not only its pyramids, nor its temples, nor its treasures. Its greatest achievement was creating a civilization that endured for thousands of years while preserving knowledge, beauty, faith, and remarkable stability. Even now, as you stand quietly beneath the stars, it feels as though the voices of the past have not completely disappeared. They remain within the carved stone, within the flowing river, within the desert wind, within every story still told about this extraordinary land. The night becomes even quieter. The moon slowly climbs higher above the horizon. Its gentle light reflects upon the Nile like a ribbon of polished silver stretching into the distance. You take one last slow breath. The cool air carries the scent of water, earth, and distant flowering plants. For just a single day, you have walked beside farmers, craftsmen, merchants, priests, children, and travelers. You have watched the sun rise over the Nile and now watched it give way to a sky filled with stars. You have discovered that history is not only about great rulers and magnificent monuments, it is also about ordinary people, people who laughed, worked, loved, hoped, and dreamed beneath these very same stars. Though thousands of years separate their lives from ours, their humanity remains wonderfully familiar. As the Nile continues its endless journey through the darkness, allow your thoughts to drift gently with its peaceful current. Leave behind the noise of the modern world. Leave behind the worries of today. Simply listen to the quiet river and let the timeless calm of ancient Egypt carry you gently into peaceful sleep. As your journey quietly comes to an end, take one final look across the Nile. The river continues its timeless journey beneath the stars, just as it did thousands of years ago, and just as it will long after every generation has passed. The temples remain silent. The desert waits patiently beyond the fertile fields. The gentle breeze carries whispers of a civilization that once believed its monuments would stand forever. In many ways, they were right. Not because every city survived, not because every king is remembered, but because their story still lives. It lives within the great temples carved from stone. It lives within the graceful hieroglyphs that still speak across the centuries. It lives within the quiet rhythm of the Nile, flowing exactly as it has since the beginning of history. Most of all, it lives within the people who once called this remarkable land home. They celebrated joyful moments. They faced difficult seasons. They worked hard for their families. They hoped tomorrow would be kinder than yesterday. And when night finally came, they rested beneath the very same stars that shine above us today. Perhaps that is the greatest lesson ancient Egypt leaves behind. Civilizations may rise, civilizations may fall, stone may weather, names may fade. Yet kindness, curiosity, hope, love, and the desire to leave the world a little better than we found it continue from one generation to the next. As you slowly step away from this ancient world, imagine the first light of morning returning once more to the banks of the Nile. Fishermen will prepare their boats. Farmers will walk toward their fields. Children will laugh in dusty village streets. Merchants will open their market stalls. Priests will welcome the first worshippers into cool temple halls. Life will begin again, just as it has for countless generations. And somewhere within that endless rhythm, your footsteps quietly disappear, becoming one small part of the story you have witnessed today. Thank you for sharing this peaceful journey through ancient Egypt. Thank you for walking beside the Nile, for listening to the voices of the past, and for discovering that across thousands of years, the human heart has changed far less than we often imagine. Now, the river grows quiet, the breeze becomes softer, the stars shine a little brighter. Allow every thought to drift away like gentle ripples upon the water. May the timeless peace of ancient Egypt stay with you as you close your eyes. Sleep well, and until our next journey into the ancient world. Long after the village has fallen asleep, the Nile continues its quiet journey beneath the moonlit sky. The water never truly rests. It has carried the hopes of countless generations, nourishing the land through seasons of abundance and uncertainty alike. Tonight is no different. A gentle breeze moves through the papyrus reeds, creating a soft whisper that seems almost like the voice of history itself. Somewhere in the distance, a lone fisherman checks the ropes securing his small wooden boat before returning home to his family. Tomorrow, before the first light of dawn, he will once again set out upon the river, trusting its familiar currents as his father did before him and his grandfather before that. High above, the stars continue their silent journey across the heavens. Ancient astronomers study these lights with careful attention, believing that the movements of the sky reveal the order of the universe. For countless nights, they have watched, measured, and wondered, searching for patterns that connect heaven and earth. Even without modern instruments, their curiosity reaches far beyond the horizon. It is the same curiosity that still inspires people today. As you stand quietly beside the river, you begin to understand that the greatest wonders of ancient Egypt are not only its towering monuments or magnificent temples. They are found in the ordinary lives of its people, in the patience of a craftsman perfecting his work, in the laughter of children echoing through narrow village streets, in the kindness shared between neighbors, in the quiet determination of farmers who place their trust in the Nile each new season. These simple moments, repeated day after day, slowly became the foundation of one of history's greatest civilizations. Time continued to move forward. Years became generations. Generations became centuries. Yet the spirit of ancient Egypt never completely disappeared. It remains within every carved stone, every painted wall, every surviving scroll of papyrus, and every story passed from one generation to the next. Even today, when travelers stand beside the Nile at sunset, they often feel a quiet connection to those who stood there thousands of years before. The landscape has changed, the world has changed, but the river still flows with the same calm purpose. As your own journey gently reaches its final moments, allow yourself one last peaceful glance across the moonlit water. Breathe slowly. Feel the cool evening air. Listen to the gentle sound of the flowing Nile. Let every remaining thought drift away like tiny ripples disappearing into the darkness. May the peace of this ancient land remain with you long after tonight. And as the stars continue their endless watch above the valley of the Nile, allow yourself to rest, knowing that somewhere between history and imagination, this timeless journey will always be waiting for you. Good night.